Excess, June 8:30. Well, excuse me, it's Sunday 8:33 a.m. June 3rd. This is Blood and Wine playthrough number 14. Where we've left off here is we kind of pushed the main story quest forward last time. We chased that. We learned that the big threat right now in Toussaint is a greater vampire, and we met an old vampire friend named Regis, who saved us basically from getting killed by the greater vampire. We're technically supposed to meet him at the Mir Lachaslangu cemetery. We also have some secondary quests here. Gwent to Everything Turn Tournament. No Place Like Home. Night for Hire. I thought there was another quest that's close to level 30 something. Treasure hunts. Maybe not. Anyways. I've also done some off-screen farming here, and so I've obtained enough crown to actually forge the. Here we are. The Grandmaster Feline Steel Sword and the Grandmaster Feline Gauntlets. So I can have Art and Quinn. So basically what I'm saying is I can go bank those two pieces of gear that'll lighten my maximum weight my carrying capacity. So yeah. So let's do that. Let's make these. Let's make these well, not really changes, but let's basically clean out the inventory a little bit. The bees? What do I want to put in the I'm trying to find out let's see, what do I want to put into the glove slot? I got Art already. That needs Quinn. I've got Quinn, so I need Art and Quinn. Okay, we can do that. And ideally, I would swap that out with a greater Dazbog, but I don't think I can do that. I need to have a smith unsocket it. Oh well. Yeah, I have to have a... You can't just place a rune that you found on top of an existing rune. You have to pay for somebody to remove the existing rune, which is a little inconvenient, but it's not a big deal, really. An extra 2%. It's probably negligible in the scheme of things right now. Don't know why it took so long to transfer that weapon over. Glyph of Ard, send that over. Quinn, we'll send that one over. Zoria, send that one over. No, not that. Send that one over. So I take it this is like a library, so I wonder, do I still need to carry the books that I have on me, or can I sell those too? Okay, we have a painting hanging there. Alright, let's go ahead and get the XP bonuses and whatnot. What else? What is here? There we go. There we go. Armor table. Whetstone.
The pile of work remains.
We're also going to go touch the statue for good luck, you know?
Ah.
What do you want? A group of rogues walks amidst the trees. Willies are swinging.
Keep calm. Start no brawls.
Devils take you.
My, do I ever feel like doing absolutely nothing.
If I can find the damn statue, where the hell is it? Oh, man.
Ah!
Alright, now I'm just getting lost.
Dump it out your rampant fart to finish.
Nothing to see.
I think it's down here by the innkeep, really.
Move along.
Nice has returned, not to be missed by your people.
Here we go.
Can't believe I'm actually doing this.
There we go.
Nothing to see here.
Not
Move
to be
along.
missed by your tickets now.
Oh.
Now let's see here. We're going to go. We're in the meantime, we're gonna hit up some of these undiscovered locations here. Down here along the coast. I don't know why that is not working.
Shut up and fight.
I'll break your guts around your spine.
Mistake.
Arnold Ip Bloom's journal. Journal is covered in dried blood. Only some of the latest entries are legible. I don't believe in coincidences. Believing in coincidences is a privilege the officer commanding the Imperial Embassy's Defense Brigade cannot afford. The caravan transporting wine purchased for the Imperial Court was attacked and robbed within the borders of the duchy. The barrels of wine themselves are extremely valuable, yet traveling with the caravan was the undersecretary responsible for returning the embassy's unused operation wherewithal. In other words, Florins, allotted to spread goodwill, will not return to the Empire's coffers, for they are now in the hands of bandits. How could I have allowed such an important transport to have gone out without appropriate security measures? This will not go over well in the capital. To top it all, those impertinent provincials from the Ducal Guard had the audacity to impute one of the embassy's employees must have informed the bandits of the caravan's itinerary and route. I'd soon suspect it's someone from the guard, though perhaps not. Those idiots have trouble finding their own arses, even with the help of a detailed map. The solution is clear. I shall personally see to escort the next caravan safely beyond Toussaint's borders. Rest illegible. So they sent a caravan out with lax security. Interesting. And this poor sod here, this knight, personally went to go guard the next. And we see that the bandits were still successful. This kind of sucks. I have like no means to heal. I don't know why this happens, but I noticed that the game will bug out into where the D-pad, the potions that are mapped to the use of the D-pad, they just don't work.
A place of power.
Well, you know what? It just occurred to me. I went to a place of power, and I've got an extra character point, so that lets me. I can actually go further in this this new toxic blood. So yeah, I can research it now. Holy crap! I thought I had to go to. Each time you're injured in melee combat, the attacking opponent receives damage in the amount of 1.5% of damage dealt for every point of your toxicity level. Only one mutation can be active at any given time. Strengthen synapses. The strengthen synapses mutation improves automatically when you develop other mutations. As it does, it unlocks additional ability slots. So I need 3 more ability points for Euphoria. So then what would be the point of returning back to the doctor's lab where the Iron Maiden device is? Maybe there is no point. No. I don't know. wonder, apparently I've been in this cave before. Okay. I don't remember what was here, obviously, but just thought I'd check it out just in case. Announcement from the Office of Internal Revenue of the Duchy of Toussaint. Matilda Vermentino and Liam Coronata have become the new owners of Bellegarde Vineyard, leading to the consolidation of the lands of Vermentino, Coronata, and Bellegarde. This new ownership status takes effect as of the date of this announcement. That's good news. They're finally getting along and they can manage these vineyards cooperatively.
Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
Jacob de Chamois, born 1186, neither drank nor smoked, yet still up and died. Good riddance, may the prophet Lebioda give him a noogie in the afterlife. Here we are. Regis.
Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be. Gotta be another way in around here.
Detloff van der Eriten. It was horrifying to watch. That gentleman suddenly turned into a ghastly beast with claws and tore those men to shreds with the precision of a master butcher. A witness to Detloff's attacks. Detloff is a higher vampire and one of the most terrifying creatures the world has ever known. Some vampires of his sort live among men easily and inconspicuously, sometimes even gaining the respect and admiration of their community. Yet even the most civilized vampire can be incredibly dangerous if provoked, and Detloff was far from civilized. When in his two-legged form, Detloff strikes in surprising, unique ways, so one must be extremely alert and attentive. His razor-sharp claws, wielded with great strength and precision, are his chief weapons, yet he can also wield weapons of human devising with extraordinary skill. Like all higher vampires, Detloff can turn into fog and envelope opponents. When fighting a vampire in this form, one must watch out for magic puddles and attacks from the air. When wounded, Detloff tends to assume his winged form, using these powerful appendages to stun his foes near effortlessly. One must remember higher vampires are immortal creatures and thus do not fear for their lives while fighting, meaning they take every risk. They're able to turn invisible and can regenerate strength during combat. All in all, they are supremely difficult foes, even for a witcher.
Victuals aplenty around here. Taking more eggs. Need to incinerate these to ash.
Alright, this dude is not messing around.
in his eye. Ought to use it. Interesting.
Cassis Foderis. Rest, Sir Ramon of Gikon. On my grave you will not find the likeness of the man who once lived. I gave my heart, soul, and body to the knightly craft, and I wish to be remembered as a knight. The symbol of chivalry is a naked sword, and that symbol rests above me. The sword that defended my honor, my friends, and my heart. The sword that was closer to me than any brother. The sword that was never stained by the blood of an innocent man. Let it rest on this stone through the ages. Seems a decent sword. It actually is a decent sword. It's really good, actually. I might make that my main silver weapon here. For now. I needed something to replace the Viper silver sword. Although good, I've had it for a little while now, so I was kind of I'm kind of glad I found this, because I was considering making the silver cat sword, but I haven't made it. I haven't, farmed up enough gold and got all the necessary ingredients. So yeah, I might rock this Cassis Foderis for a little bit.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out. Abruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here. Guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort, Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Kovinaris gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Kovinaris spent half his life proving his theory. Wild guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Dettlaff's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
Just gonna leave the hand on the table.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just passed.
Maybe you should go first. Reveal one of your secrets. After all, you vampires lead very interesting lives.
Anything in particular interest you?
Gotta ask you the big question. One everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Dettlaff, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. I showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cirilla?
Well, I did.
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. Got a new life, new body. That give you a new start, blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Dettlaff recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually, pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
All right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a witcher?
That's what interests you most? Whether I'd like to be a witcher again?
Many things interest me, but we've not much time left. Please answer.
Never chose to be a witcher. Fate chose for me. Had it been my choice, I'd have picked a different profession. A profession where I wouldn't have to risk my life every minute of every day. Maybe even one that'd earn me some respect.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Far as I know, none. Now what you got for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate, it's covered in spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse, in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there, I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus, I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
We have a bestiary entry for spotted whites now. Spotted whites. The best defense against spotted whites, stay calm and leave them alone. Fragment of a treatise on spotted whites by Roderick Gilligan. Spotted whites were a subspecies of white which the Witchers drove to extinction. They were larger than their unspotted kin and owed their names to their numerous blotches and effusions. Spotted whites would most often dwell in derelict cemeteries and empty wildernesses, yet at times took to living in abandoned human domiciles. There they would indulge in their greatest passion, creating brews from their own emissions. When not disturbed, spotted whites would not act aggressively. If threatened, however, they became very dangerous indeed. In the colder months or when faced with an unseasonable chill, they would slip into a state of lethargy, making them easy targets. Even during their active periods, it is said the Witchers found a surefire way of besting them based around careful casting of the Yrden sign, or at least so claims Witcher's lore. I thought Regis would be in this list. Geralt and Regis decided that an aid was needed to find Detloff, a certain potion called Resonance. To brew it, Regis needed some bodily tissue from the object of their pursuit. Luckily, Geralt had earlier found a dismembered hand belonging to the murderer. Another ingredient needed to brew Resonance was saliva, or salivary glands, from a spotted white. Having discovered that one such creature resided nearby, Regis sent the Witcher to hunt it down. Geralt paid Regis a visit at his cemetery hideout. After a long debate, the two old friends concluded their first order of business was to find Detloff. Regis was to prepare a concoction to aid them in this endeavor, called Resonance. Said brew required an array of ingredients, many of them hard to find. One such component was the saliva, or salivary glands, of a spotted white, a species thought to be long extinct, yet it seemed that one specimen remained alive, having made its lair near Beauclair. Geralt set out to find it. Oh, man.
Hey-ya!
Hey, yeah.
spores will sprout again. Should destroy the area if I want to get rid of them for good.
These things are annoying.
Come on. Come on, Roach. Come on now. Let's go. Whoa there, Roach.
Some evil's afoot in that cave. It's made its lair there. It's swallowed Phil and whole.
Ready to blow. Huh? Saying no that you got this, that you got that, no that you got talk tittle. I'm going to save with my hands. Watch your stones. Come evening, I'm off to the wells, quick as a flash. Those girls can't wait to see me. Saying no that you got this, that you got that, no that you got talk tittle.
Whoa there, sir. I guess those swords on your back aren't there as festoons. Maybe you could help me?
Maybe. Depends.
Well, there's a cave that to my mind would be splendid for aging wine. Not over dry and none too moist.
But
Well, damn thing's full of noise. The arse-clenching sort. Clinkety, bangety, knockety kind. Sent McClarkin to sea, been 2 days. And he's not back. I reckon it's ought to do with the Elven ruins. Blah. That about the cave. So, lend us a hand, will you?
Let's talk about the money.
could help, provided you can pay.
Whoa, mate. Can't possibly pay you that much. Yes, we're almost there. Agreed.
Fine. I'll have a look in the cave, see what lurks there.
Up here, botch it.
Okay, we'll come back to that a little bit later.
Giddy up.
We're gonna just load up on potions and just destroy these guys. Adjunct Philip Boritz notes, first day of the month of Birk, the very first day, and I already regret agreeing to participate in this expedition. The journey itself will take 8 weeks. Besides, I do not believe anyone from Isabelle Duchamp's lost expedition remains alive. It has been years. Professor Eivor has taken a hearty supply of egg salad sandwiches with him for the road. A few stages are glued together by some sticky substance, probably mayonnaise. 14th day of the month of Blythe. We have arrived. Professor Eivor gave the order to pitch camp near the ruins of Tiermes, the place where the missing group led by Professor Duchamp was supposed to carry out its excavation. Then we drank 2 bottles of wine and went to sleep. Sixteenth day of the month of Blythe. The Termes Palace ruins, the very thought of them sends shivers down my spine. Nevertheless, I believe we should begin our search in the ruins themselves, yet the professor keeps beating around the bush and spends most of his time curled up with a bottle. My suggestion to head deeper into the woods and look for signs of the expedition was shrugged off with a comment about my impertinence and an accusation of trying to take over the leadership of the expedition. 18th day of the month of Blythe. The professor has perished. He departed yesterday morning and had not returned to camp by evening. We shall soon set out to look for him. Perhaps that drunkard finally dared to visit the ruins. What in the world? This is a lot of information here. Professor Noel Eivor's journal. Journal has been kept chaotically full of stains, blots, and incomprehensible scribblings, and the entries are not dated. Every day I regret what I said then. How could I have been so foolish? Why did I not agree to become her assistant? Fie upon you, base ambition, oh Isabelle, forgive me. Enough inaction. I'm off to Beauclair. If I find you alive, Isabelle, I will fall to my knees and plead forgiveness. And if you're gone, enough of this wallowing in self-pity. Time to get to work. I've chosen the most talented and hard-working of my students, and for my assistant I have named my most clever adjunct, Philip Borut. The Academy's chancellery has accepted the plan for our expedition. We need but to collect our equipment, then hit the road. Unbelievable, Philip had the audacity to point out to me that eating egg salad sandwiches while traveling in a closed carriage is poor manners. What arrogance! And to think I prized him above all my adjuncts. I could have not have imagined a worse start to our 8-week journey. A few pages are stuck together by some sticky substance. Mayonnaise, perhaps? We have arrived. I fear entering these ruins. I fear what I shall find there. I think I lack the strength to face the truth. That impertinent upstart Philip Borut is driving me completely mad. He's accused me of idleness and indecision. How dare he hurl such insults in the presence of the other members of our expedition? He does not understand who my beloved Isabel was, who she is to me. I do not wish to. I cannot face the truth. I'm off, alone at the moment, for I do not wish them to see me when I find. I will begin by searching the ruins of the temple abutting the river. Lara Doran and Creganon of Lod. Love knows no bounds, the saying claims. History knows no better proof of this adage than the romance between Lara Doran and Creganon of Lod. She, a powerful elven sage, bearer of the elder blood, promised to the great Avalok. He, a human mage of great talent and humble birth. She, able to live centuries if not millennia. He, likely to live no more than 60 years and 10. Like each of us, they should have hated each other, scorned each other. Instead, they burned for one another with powerful love, heedless to the war raging around them. To the condemnation from all sides, they led a humble and happy life. Soon Lara was with child, a babe born of Lara and Creganon might have joined the best of both races, united them at long last. Alas, this was not to be. Humans considered Creganon a traitor and a renegade. They demanded he abandon Lara, and when he refused, they decided to murder them both. Creganon died while Lara, still heavy with child, escaped with her life. She ran to Trethagor to beg succor and support from Sero, Queen of Redania. What then came to pass? Here, elven and human sources diverge, presenting two irreconcilable versions. According to the chronicles of the Aeneid, her pleas did not soften the stony Dawn hearts, the hearts of merciless and cruel humans. When Lara, pleading for mercy, if not for her, then at least for her child, clutched onto the door of the royal carriage, the queen ordered her maimer to strike with his sword and cut off her fingers. That night, crushed by fierce frost, Lara breathed her last sigh on a hill in the woods, giving birth to a daughter whom she protected with the fading embers of her own warmth. Human legends, however, have Sero saying, "Ask not for me, for grace." Sero. Ask not for me for grace. Ask instead those whom you have harmed with your magic. Brave you were when you wrought those foul deeds. Brave you be now. When the pursuit of justice nears, your sins are not in my power to forgive. In reply, Lara said, "My doom is at hand, but yours, Queen, is also nigh. Remember Lara Doran in that terrible hour, Queen. Remember her death and her curse. And know that my curse will hound you and your seed to the 10th generation. Will it damn your line? Wherein lies the truth cannot be said. Both verses are surely false, for both seek to blacken their enemy. Sad is Lara's end. The hate between races which Creganon wished so badly to end is now so strong that its darkness has forever obscured the truth of her fate." Sero, Queen of Redania. A place of power.
Magic. A place of power.
wonder where the hell it is. A lot of loot here, though. But I think I just found the place. Yep. Oh, man. It's an hour and a half. I've got some guests coming over today, and they're going to be here probably pretty soon, before noon, and it's getting, 10 o'clock, roughly. So I'm going to end the stream a little earlier than normal. This is not going to be a 3-hour stream. What I'll do is, since I'm here at this cave entrance, these Elven Palace ruins, or these Elven Temple ruins here, I'll go ahead and really, we'll finish exploring these ruins, basically, is what I'm trying to say. I have to go back and get the place of power, though. The Termes Palace ruins. That's what I was trying to say.
Place of power. Should draw from it.
Those Knight Errant blinders actually may be better on Roach. No, they're not. The chivalric virtues are far better.
Medallion's humming. Place of power. It's gotta be.
Something just killed a wolf. George Herbert's letter, Dear Hadivika, you were absolutely correct to advise against this journey. Why did the Dean of Archaeology entrust its leadership in the hands of this quadroon, who found the Violet Ruby of Aidgenvale, me or her? You must know the Witcher has returned after all. The ruby removed the barrier as I held it would from the start, and ulterior. Can you believe the Witcher almost convinced that Duchamp to return to town to hire additional guards? We don't know what dangers are in store for us. Now there's someone who knows how to pad his billable hours. Duchamp took to the idea, recalling the tale about the tomb being cursed. Yet I convinced the company not to put any stock in fairy tales. We must hurry, I said, for what if someone beats us to it and robs the elven treasury first? Because as you know, according to my translation, the most precious can only mean one thing, the lost treasure of King Divithoff. Soon it shall be ours, bloodstains. Later addendum partly obscured by bloodstains. The Witcher was right, we should have never gone in there. That is an accursed place. I barely managed to escape. Crawl out and take the ruby. The portal has closed. I'm safe, but the others. Purple ruby. Alright, where the hell is this entrance now? I just lost the damn thing. There we are.
light could be useful. Seems they were running for the exit. Ugly bastard.
It's locked. Awigniel's letter. I, Awigniel, write this missive to you, elven brother from another time, to ensure memory of our sad fate never perishes. After many failed attempts, the treacherous Doin finally managed to reach King Divothoth and stick his flesh with steel. The court medic's healing brews provided no succor, and King Divothoth did not last the night. At that moment, our morale, which had already suffered a great trial during the weeks-long siege, reached rock bottom. But were we to allow the body of our leader to fall into the hands of the Doin, let them put his head on a pike? The mage Barfion did not have to ponder long. The king's place is in his family crypt in Sitharak. I was one of the volunteers who carried the body from the palace through underground tunnels, yet somehow the Doin picked up our trail and attacked us in the temple after a short battle. We made a unanimous decision. Barfion shall leave and close the entrance to the crypts behind him. We shall stay behind and place the king in his grave. The mage hesitated a short while, yet knew the palace would fall without his support. He left, swearing he would soon return once our troops have fought off the Doin with the help of General Sempelin, whose army should reach us any day now. Rest of letter illegible.
A witcher. Brought the ceiling down to bury his foes. Ended up burying himself, too.
Geralt himself was of the School of the Wolf, so it's no surprise he was particularly interested in finding diagrams that would allow him to craft Grandmaster-level gear of his Brotherhood. He began a search by visiting elven ruins a certain Witcher had visited years before while protecting the members of an archaeological expedition.
Satchel looks like it belonged to a Witcher.
Adana of Carreras' journal. Suppose I shouldn't be surprised Master Tien Sale asked such a steep price to forge Grandmaster armor. No other craftsman in the world is his equal. I tried to tell wise old Vesemir that what he gave me would barely be enough for one silver sword. Trekked halfway across the world to get here from Kaer Morhen, and for what? Gonna have to look around for some work. Later addendum. Today, Tien Sale introduced me to the leader of an arch. Illegible fragment, but in the end, we reached a deal. Checked the area out, and it seems calm enough, though my medallion did buzz in a few spots near the ruins. That's why I told them to pitch a camp a bit further away from the main entrance. Who the blazes knows what might be living inside. They've also mentioned something about a curse, so I guess I should expect Race, Barghest maybe. Damn it, should have asked for more. Tomorrow we start exploring. Epitaph, King Dibithob. Here lies our father. He died so that others may live. Geralt's own exploration of the site ended in the cellars beneath the ruins. Our hero learned the scholars had reached a spot haunted by elven specters. Both the learned men and the Witcher escorting them had perished at the Wraith's hands. Geralt proved a mite luckier. He not only emerged from the ruins alive, but he also found all the diagrams he had gone there to seek. I guess that was it. Yeah, just a kind of a
place of power. Should draw from it.
Isabelle Duchamp's journal. Logbook of the archaeological expedition under the guidance of Isabelle Duchamp. Our excavation is underwritten by Oxenford Academy. Its goal is to study the ancient elven ruins at Termesh and subsequently locate and find a way into the underground chambers beneath them using the purple ruby of Aid Ginvale. March 26, we have arrived in Tucson, one of the many trifling little realms in the Nilfgaardian Empire. Our journey took place without incident. Eligible fragment. 27th, Master Tiansel, a local elf, advised us against entering the ruins. As a precaution, we have hired a witcher. April 12th, we have pitched camp and conducted preliminary reconnaissance. April 16th, illegible fragment, and the quarreling continues. The Witcher advises us to end the expedition, and someone has yet again brought up that canard about an ancient curse. Legible fragment. April 20th, the entrance to the underground chambers is indeed protected by a barrier. We must await the Witcher's return. He is to use the purple ruby to illegible fragment. Holy crap, there's another entrance here? I guess that's it. Okay, I think this is pretty much it. I think I've fully explored this place. And I'm going to call the stream here soon. Like, let's see. Yeah. Trastamara Hunting Cottage. This is where we're going to be going next when we come back. And I can remove this now. Let me get to the sign of the crossroads. All right, folks, this is going to be the end of the stream. We're ending episode number 14 here. When we come back, we're going to finish the, well, not want to say finish, but we're going to progress with the La Cage Afu quest, where we're going to look for the White Slayer. And really, it's just down the road from where we are right here. And perfect opportunity to stop, get some lunch, and get ready for the visitors that I have coming over. So, I probably won't be streaming here for the rest of the day. I'll be busy. And I probably won't pick this back up until next weekend. So, peace out, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.